Hey, I'm Rejected Shotgun, and wow, I have run across quite possibly the most impressive Halo mod I've ever seen. Before I even begin, I seriously encourage you to go to the link in the description and download this mod so you can play it for yourself. It's only about 10 minutes long, and it's absolutely worth every second. That being said, I'm now going to talk about it, so go play it and come back once you have. This is Arrival by ILoveAGoodCrisp. It's set in an alternate timeline to the events of Halo 3. The normal Halo 3 intro cutscene begins where you see the Master Chief, who has crash-landed in the jungle where Sierra 117 normally takes place. However, the mood here is drastically different. It's set at nighttime, and all of the Marines are equipped with flashlights on their assault rifles. The music is also pitched down, which kind of lends this eerie feeling to what is normally a somber cutscene. As Sergeant Johnson goes to blow smoke on the Master Chief, everything seems to be as usual. He says his line to get a Pelican to come pick up the Master Chief's unconscious body. However, this time, Chief never wakes up.
Radio for VTOL. Heavy lift gear. We're not leaving him here.
Instead, the cutscene ends, and your camera switches to one of the Marines. Sergeant Johnson gets in contact with a Pelican pilot asking for their ETA, and they respond back saying they're on their way.
Kilo 2-3, what's your ETA?
Imminent, Sergeant.
Roger that, Hocus. First squad, you're my scouts. Move out, quiet as you can.
Johnson rushes you to get out of the forest as soon as possible, and you can look back on the Master Chief, seeing his body lying in the mud, motionless. It's pretty clear he won't be helping you on this mission. As you move through the forest, the ground will begin to shake, and you can hear the familiar sound of a Covenant cruiser passing overhead.
It sounds close.
Yeah, too close.
It would seem to be the Covenant forces. The Marines chatter about it before you're encouraged to move on. As you walk, strange calls and sounds can be heard. Not the usual ones, however. Whatever's making these sounds is no brute. Eventually, you run across some grunts, and you can see a brute fighting in the distance. However, the grunts are not running at you, but they're running away from something in a panic. And by the time you get to the brute, it's already been killed, along with its entire squad. As you approach an opening, it begins to become very clear what has happened. The massive flood-filled Covenant cruiser that normally appears much later in the campaign has arrived earlier than expected. This was the sound you heard in the forest earlier on. Upon getting a closer look, you're barely given time to take it in before a group of Flood jump up and begin attacking you.
What the hell are those things, Sergeant?
Take them down! Short control burst!
You're given unlimited ammo like the Marines have in the normal campaign so that you can disperse the Flood. The Marines in your squad react appropriately to the situation.
End of the world, man. End of the frickin' world!
Meanwhile, the leader of your squad continues to request information from the Pelican that's coming to pick you up.
My squad is pinned. Request immediate assistance, over.
Find some cover. Got a clear path.
Alright, let's lock it down tight.
Off in the distance, you can see the massive flood tentacles of the Gravemind within the lake. They twitch and move around underneath the water, and honestly, it looks fantastic. The level then turns into a sort of wave shooter as multiple groups of Flood rush at you from all directions. During my first attempt, most of my Marine allies died, and eventually I did too. However, when I died, instead of just falling to the ground, the Flood actually infected my body and I turned into one of them, which I thought was really cool. However, I did eventually manage to stave off all the waves of flood long enough for my Pelican pilot to arrive.
Cavalry is here. Everyone grab a seat.
After my first death, I managed to keep most of my squad alive, and we made our way to the Pelican. Once we arrived there, well, I'll let you watch for yourself.
Watch yourself!
Echo 5-1, this is Crow's Nest. Echo 5-1, please respond.
That was a fantastic way to end the level. The entire experience of this dark alternate timeline in which the Master Chief doesn't wake up, taking on the role of a Marine and having to deal with the flood arriving way earlier on Earth was both horrifying and awesome. The fact that a rocket-equipped flood Marine ends up taking you out and you're given this gruesome death was really a cool choice on Crisp's part. What surprised me most about this mod was the sheer level of technical wizardry and polish that Crisp was able to accomplish. The community-made tools for modding Halo are a bit clunky, and things like these custom cutscenes and massively scripted sequences are really hard to pull off. The fact that Crisp was able to do it is extremely impressive. However, once you realize that Crisp is the same person that made the Flood Zombies mod, it kind of makes sense. Overall, this mod is a straight up 10 out of 10. Just truly technically impressive and well executed. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Crisp does once 343 releases their official modding tools. I highly recommend you check out this mod as well as Crisp's Flood Zombie mod, which is based on Call of Duty zombies. Both are extremely well done and worth playing. That being said, here's some other videos by me. Go check them out if you're interested, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.